Good day, class. You are welcome back to mathematics class. Today we are going to look at the topic that says change of subject of formula. Alright, so let's begin the class. The subject of a formula is the single variable that stands alone, and it is usually on the left hand side of the equation. Alright, so to change the subject of a formula means to rearrange the equation so that a different variable stand alone at one side. Okay, and like I said earlier on, usually on the left hand side. Is that okay? All right, so let's begin to take a look at some examples under the change of subject or formula. All right, so this is the first example. The question says, make x the subject of the formula. In this equation, y is equal to mx plus c. Solution. Okay, so we have y is equal to mx plus c. Now what we want to make the subject of formula in this equation is x. Okay, and what does that mean? It means this x, we want it to be at the left hand side, to be in the position of this y. All right, so that is what change of subject is all about. Okay, so what I'm going to do now here is to take this c to the left hand side, and at this right hand side the sign of c here is plus, but once I take it to the left hand side the sign will change to minus. So I have y minus c is equal to mx. All right, so there's only one thing that is hindering us from getting the value of x, which is m. All right, so just divide both sides by m. So once you divide both sides by m, so this m will cancel this, and you are left with x is equal to y minus c divided by m. So as you can see now, x is now the subject of the formula. Understood? So let's take a look at another example. Make g the subject of the formula. So in this equation you are seeing on the screen, solution. So the question is, the formula is t equal to 2 pi multiplied by the square root of L over G. Now don't forget, what we are targeting to make the subject of formula is letter G. Understood? So I want to first of all get rid of this square root in this formula. So for me to do that, I'm going to say take the square of both sides. Okay, so square both sides. So when you do that, you have t squared equal to 2 pi then square root of L over G all squared. Okay, so we now have t squared is equal to, now everything inside this bracket will partake in the power of 2 here, so 2 raised to power 2 will give us 4, then pi squared. Now this square root has cancelled this power of 2 here, because square root also means 1 over 2. Okay, so we are left with L over G. Is that understood? All right, so the next thing we do is to cross multiply both sides of this equation by G. Okay, so when you do that, now we have t squared times G then equal to G multiplied by 4 pi squared then L over G. So we have multiplied both sides of this equation by G, so that this G will cancel this G. So we are now left with t squared G is equal to 4 pi squared L. Understood? So don't forget, what we are looking at is G. So the next thing is to divide both sides by t squared. So let's divide both sides by t squared. We have t squared G equal to 4 pi square L. So dividing both sides by t squared, dividing both sides by t squared. So we have our g to be equal to 4 pi square L divided by t squared. So, and that is our final answer to this question. Is that understood? All right, so let's proceed. Let's take another question. So the question says, if A is equal to B plus C divided by B minus C, make B the subject of formula. All right, then find B when A is equal to 3 and C is equal to 4. So this question is a combination of making a letter, a variable, the subject of formula, and then substitution. So you were given the values of two variables here, you plug it in your final answer, then you solve on to get a particular value for B. Understood? So let's solve this together. Solution. So the equation is A equal to B plus C divided by B minus C. So, and our target now is to make B the subject of formula. All right, so the first thing I will do here is to multiply both sides by B minus C. All right, so the LCM, or if I put over 1 here, I can simply say cross multiply. And then when you cross multiply, you have A times B minus C, then equal to B plus C times 1, which is also B plus C. All right, let's open this bracket. A times B is AB, then A times minus C is A minus AC. All right, then equal to B plus C. What we want to make the subject of formula is B. So all these terms that have B, I'm going to put them at the left hand side, while other terms go to the right hand side. So I will do that by writing AB, then this B will come to the left hand side here, it becomes minus B, then equal to C. This AC goes to the right hand side, it becomes plus AC. Understood? All right, so let's factor out B at this left hand side. So B is common, then inside the bracket now we will have A left, then minus 1, then equal to if you like, you can factor C out here also. So I will have C is common, then I have 1 plus A. Understood? So now divide both sides by A minus 1. So that's what we are going to do next. Divide both sides by A minus 1 by A minus 1. So this A minus 1 will cancel this, and then we are left with a B at the left hand side, equal to C open bracket 1 plus A close the bracket divided by A minus 1 as a denominator. Okay, so this is our answer to the first question, that is making B the subject of this formula. All right, the question proceeds and say, then find B when A is equal to 3 and C is equal to 4. So we have been given that A is equal to 3 and then C is equal to 4. So what we needed to do now is to plug in the values of these two parameters A and C in this this formula. So we have B is equal to C is 4, then open bracket 1 plus A, which is 3, then divided by A, which is 3 minus 1. So solving this further, we have 4 open bracket 1 plus 3 is 4, then divided by 3 minus 1 will give us 2. Okay, so B now is equal to 2 goes in 2 one time, 2 goes in 4, that's 2 times. Then we have 2 times 4 left, and 2 times 4 will give us 8. So therefore the value of B is equal to 8. Is that understood? All right, so let's take a look at another question. The question says, make R the subject of the formula. In this formula you are seeing on the screen. Okay, solution. The question is V equal to 1 over 3 pi R squared ish. So don't forget, we want to make R the subject of the formula here. Now let's first of all clear the fraction, and we are going to do that by multiplying both sides by the LCM, which is 3 here. Okay, so when we multiply both sides by 3, we have 3v then equal to 3 times 1 over 3 pi r squared ish. Okay, so this 3 will cancel this 3, so we are left with 3v is equal to, then we have pi r square ish. So we are targeting r to be the subject of formula, so I will say divide both sides by pi ish. Okay, so this pi ish will cancel this pi ish, so we are now left with r squared equal to 3v divided by pi ish. So now to get rid of this power of 2, we are going to say take the square root of both sides. Okay, take the square root of both sides. All right, so let's quickly do that. We now have r squared, then find the square root here is equal to square root of 3v divided by pi ish. Okay, this will take care of this. We are left with r to be equal to square root of 3v divided by pi ish. So that is our answer to this question. I hope you understood this example. Now, if not, let's take a look at another one. The question says the period of a compound pendulum is given by this formula you are seeing on the screen. Then express k in terms of t, h, and g. Then taking pi squared as 10. Okay, this is a WAEC question, and we are going to solve this together. Solution. Okay, so we have t equal to 2 pi then square root of h squared plus k squared divided by g h. Okay, so the first thing we are doing here is to take away the square roots, and I'm going to do that by taking the square of both sides. So square both sides. Okay, so when you square both sides, we will have t squared then equal to then 2 pi then square root of h squared plus k squared divided by gh then all squared. Okay, so when you do that, you will now have t squared is equal to, see this power of 2 here, 2 pi will share it, then the square root of h squared plus k squared over gh will also take part of it. Then when you apply that, you have 2 squared is 4, then pi squared. Now this square root will also disappeared, okay, because square root is also equal to 1 over 2. Then this 1 over 2 times the power of 2 will cancel each other. Is that understood? So that is why that square root will disappear, and when it disappeared, we are left with h squared plus k squared divided by gh. Is that understood? All right, so now let's continue. Let's multiply through by gh so that we can clear this fraction inside the bracket. Okay, so let me write it here. Multiply through by gh. Okay, so let's do that here. So I'm going to have gh multiplied by t squared, all right, equal to gh times, we have 4 pi squared then h squared plus k squared divided by gh. Okay, so this gh will cancel this gh. We are now left with a t squared gh equal to, here we have 4 pi squared then times h squared plus k squared left. All right, so the next thing is to divide both sides by 4 pi squared. So dividing both sides by 4 pi squared, 4 pi squared. So this 4 pi squared will cancel this. Then we are left with h squared plus k squared equal to t squared g h divided by 4 pi squared. Now we are looking for k, then I will make k the subject here. So k squared is equal to t squared gh divided by 4 pi squared. Then this h squared, I will take it to the right hand side, then it changes to minus h squared. Okay, now let's continue. We now have a k squared to be equal to, at this point I'm going to put in the value of pi, because the question says that taking pi squared to be equal to 10. Okay, so when you do that, you now have t squared gh over 4 times pi squared is now 10. Okay, then minus h squared. Understood? So now we want to get rid of this square on this k. What we are going to do is to take the square root of both sides. So when you take the square root of both sides, you are going to have k is equal to square root of t squared gh divided by 4 times 10 is 40, then minus h squared. So, and that is it. This is our final answer. So we have successfully made k the subject of our formula. Is that understood? So let's continue. Now in this question, we want to make r the subject of the formula r. So that is our target solution. Okay, so since r is what we are targeting, first of all, let's divide both sides. Let me write this question first. V is equal to pi h squared, then r minus h over 3. Okay, so now what we are going to do now is to divide both sides by pi h squared. So pi h squared and pi h squared. So this will cancel this. So and we are left with a r minus h over 3 equal to v divided by pi h squared. Alright, so r now will be equal to v over pi h squared. Okay, then take this minus h over 3 to the other side, it changes to plus h over 3. Understood? So this is not yet our final answer. We can compress the right hand side as, so the LCM of pi h squared and 3 will be equal to 3 pi h squared. All right, so this pi, the denominator of v here is pi h squared. So when you divide it, you use it to divide this denominator, then you are going to have 3 left. Then 3 times v will give us 3v, then plus, then this LCM divided by 3, it will cancel the 3, and then you are left with pi h squared. Then pi h squared times h will give us pi h cube. Is that understood? And this is our final answer to this question. All right, so let's continue. We have this question again, and we want to make n the subject of formula in this question. It's also a WAEC question. Solution. Okay, so the question is I equal to NE divided by R plus NR. So let's cross multiply here. So when you cross multiply, you have NE to be equal to I times R plus NR. Okay, since we are making n the subject of formula and we have two n here, this is one and this is the second one here, so we must make sure that those two n they are together. Is that understood? So in that case, we have to open this bracket. So you have n e equal to I times r is IR, then plus I times NR will give us INR. nr. Okay, so these terms that have n in them, we are going to bring them in one side. So I'm going to put them at the left hand side so that I have ne, then minus I nr, then equal to ir. Okay, so n is common here at this left hand side. If you factor it out, you have n open bracket e minus I r, close the bracket, then equal to I r. Okay, so divide both sides by e minus I r. So when you do that, you have n, then e minus I r, okay, equal to I r. Now let's divide both sides by e minus I r, then divided by e minus I r. So this will take care of this. Then we are left with n is equal to I r divided by e minus I r. So, and that is our answer to this question. Now next we are going to be solving this. We want to make r the subject of formula in this formula. All right, this is also a WAEC question. Solution: so we have t equal to 3b over r, then plus s. We want to make r the subject of formula. So I will solve this by finding the LCM of r and 1, because if you put this one as divided by 1, so you're having fractions like this. So the LCM is r, okay. Then r goes in r one time, 1 times 3b is 3b, then plus 1 goes in r, that's r times s is sr, okay, the small letter r. All right, so at this point now I'm going to cross multiply. When you do that, you have a 3b plus sr equal to tr. Then those ones that have r in them, so put them at one side. So when you do that, you have a sr minus tr is equal to minus 3b. Is that understood? Then sr is common here. Sorry, r is common here. Make r, factor r out. When you factor r out, so you have s minus t left, then equal to minus 3b. Is that understood? All right, so for us to get our r now, we divide both sides by s minus t. So let's do that quickly. So r into s minus t, then equal to minus 3b. Divide both sides by s minus t, then s minus t. So this will cancel this. We are now left with r is equal to minus 3b over s minus t. Is that okay? But I don't want to leave my answer as negative. Okay, so I can also write it as r is equal to 3b divided by, so this negative, I will allow it to affect this my denominator s minus t. Okay, so if you multiply this plus s by minus, it will change to minus, and this minus t, if you multiply it with this minus, it will change to plus. So meaning that I have t minus s, and that will be my final answer. Okay, all right, so let's continue. We have this question again. I want to make v the subject of the formula. All right, so solution: this is also a WAEC question. Then we have h is equal to m open bracket v squared minus u squared divided by 2gh. Then cross multiply, you have m times v squared minus u squared, then equal to 2gx-ish. Let's open this bracket so that we have mv squared minus mu squared equal to 2gx-ish. All right, so we have mv squared then equal to 2gx-ish. Then this mu squared, if you bring it to this other side, it changes to plus mu squared. And then you have, okay, now at this point, let's divide both sides by m. So once you divide both sides by m, by m, by m, so you have this cancel this, and you have left v squared to be equal to 2gx divided by m, then plus mu squared divided by m. All right. So when you, the next thing to do now is to take the square root of both sides in order to get rid of the square on top of v. So taking the square root of both sides, we have v squared then times 1 over 2. So that is a square root. Let me write it here so that you will remember what we do. Take the square root of both sides. So that's what we are doing here. Then it's equal to square root. I will just put it like this: square root of 2gx over m plus mu squared over m. All right, so these two will cancel this. We are now left with v to be equal to, then this is just addition of fraction with common denominator. So I will only add what I have at the numerator together, which is 2gx, then plus mu squared, then pick one out of the denominator, which is m. Is that understood? So this is the final answer to this question. All right, so let's take a look at another one. Here in this question, we want to make q the subject of formula. This is another WAEC question. Okay, so solution. Now in this question, we have to take the square of both sides in order to deal with this square root that we are having at the right hand side. So taking the, let me write it, square both sides. So when you square both sides, you have p squared is equal to pq over r minus r squared q. Okay, everything here raised to power 1 over 2. That's the square root that I have changed to 1 over 2. Then squaring both sides, we have raised to power 2. Understood? So here now we have p squared is equal to, now this 1 over 2 times half, we cancel each other out like this. Then we are left with a p q over r, then minus r squared q. Is that okay? Let me clear this fraction so that I will have a linear equation. So we have p squared times r, which is rp squared, then equal to pq over r, then times r, then minus r squared q times r. Oh, sorry, times r. Okay, so I have multiplied all through by r, so I have p squared r equal to, so this r will cancel this r, so I'm left with pq, then minus r squared times r is r cube squared. All right, so at the right hand side, q is common there, so I'm going to factor out this q, then I have p minus r cube left. So dividing both sides by p minus r cube, p minus r cube. All right, so this will cancel this, and I have my q to be equal to p squared r divided by p minus r cube. So, and this is my final answer to this question. So we have successfully made q the subject of the formula. And finally, let's take a look at another question. So, and this is the question, we want to make r the subject of formula here. All right, this is also another WAEC question. Okay, so solution. We have I to be equal to square root of e divided by r squared plus w squared l squared. Now the first thing to do here is to take the square of both sides. Okay, but before then you can also write this as I is equal to e divided by r squared plus w squared l squared. Okay, so everything raised to power 1 over 2. So you can write it as this is the same thing. So now I will write take the square of both sides. So when you do that, we have I squared is equal to e divided by r squared plus w squared l squared, then everything raised to power 1 over 2, then times everything raised to power 2. Okay, I squared is equal to, so this will take care of this. We now have left e divided by r squared plus w squared l squared. All right, so cross multiply or multiplying both sides by r squared plus w squared and l squared will give us e to be equal to I squared times r squared plus w squared plus l squared. Okay, so when you open this bracket at the right hand side, we have I squared r squared plus I squared w squared l squared. Okay, so I'm going to bring this I squared w squared l squared at the right hand side to the left hand side, and so I have e is e minus I squared w squared l squared to be equal to I squared r squared. Okay, so I'm going to divide both sides by I squared so that I can get the value of r that they asked me to calculate. So I will now divide both sides by I squared, divide both sides by I squared. So this will cancel this. So I now have r squared to be equal to e minus I squared w squared l squared divided by I squared. Is that okay? Now let's continue at the next page. Okay, so we have r squared to be equal to e minus I squared w squared l squared divided by I squared. So this is what we have from where we were coming from. Taking the square root of both sides, we have r squared equal to square root of e minus I squared w squared l squared divided by I squared. Okay, so this will cancel this. We now have a r to be equal to square root of e minus I squared, then w squared l squared, everything divided by, so the square root of I squared will be I, because the square roots have cancelled the squared here, so we have over I. So, and this is our final answer to this question. All right, so this is where we are going to be ending today's class. Thank you for watching. God bless you. See you in our next class. If you are yet to subscribe to this YouTube channel, kindly hit the subscription button, like this video and share so that it can reach others. Thank you.